In this video, I'm going to teach you how to play Game Gear games with 2 players. Now you should keep in mind that this is specifically for playing 2 players on one screen, so if you want to play online or something of the sort, then you have to use something like Parsec or whatnot. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, the tools we will need. The first thing you will need is WinRAR or pretty much anything that can extract that zip. If your computer can already do that, great. If not, then you'd have to download it right here and run the installer. The second thing we will need is RetroCopy. This is the emulator we're going to use, and it's how we're going to play 2-player games on the Game Gear. If you go to this link, you'll find the download right here. The third thing you need, obviously, is games. Now, I can't tell you where to get them from, but what I can do is give you a link that shows all of the available multiplayer games that Game Gear has to offer. So assuming you have everything ready, we can get straight into it. So I have 2 games right here. We have Outrun and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. What I'm going to do is extract the emulator first, so I'm going to right click and put extract here. Now when you go into this folder, you see 2 extra folders. You see RetroCopy 64 and 32. Just pick the one that matches your operating system, so I'm on 64. Drag that to the desktop. And if you can't get one working, you can always try the other. So now I have this. For now, I'm gonna put these away. Don't really need them. And yeah, let's set this up. So go into the RetroCopy folder. The first thing you want to do is right click in the folder and make a new folder. And you want to name this Game Gear in lowercase. There we go. And now you want to drag your Game Gear games in there. They should be in .gg. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And the next thing you want to do is go to Retro Game Music. This allows for music to play during the emulator screens, like the menus. I don't really care for it, so I'm going to delete them. But if you want to add your own or you just want to leave it in there, that's fine as well. But I'm going to delete that, and now we can set up the emulator. So open up RetroCopy 64, or maybe in your case it might be 32. And it should automatically go to full screen when you open it up for the first time. And of course, there is no server, so it would never, like, you can't log in or you won't be able to, like, connect. But don't worry about that, that's not what's important here. What is important is that we go to the options. So general, when you see this right here, it'll say save states, auto save and load. What you want to do is click this and put manual only. By doing this, it's like, because when you quit the game, it will automatically save, and then when you go back into it, you'll be right back where you left off. But for the case of Game Gear games on 2 players, there are times where, like, if I just leave it on auto, it would just crash. So for now, just put it on manual. Make sure to do that. Second is the graphics. If you want to try playing this in windowed mode, leave it on the lowest resolution first before you put this to off. And these will take changes when you restart the emulator. The reason why you want to do that is because, like, I tried putting it higher and then, like, taking this to off, and, like, I couldn't even resize the window, it was so big. So for now, if you want to leave this the way it is, that's fine. If you don't, then, you know, you can just try off on. But again, you do have to restart the emulator to see the changes. Next up is input. This is how we're going to change our controls. So you have player 1 input and player 2. Let's do player 1 first. And you want to go to Game Gear. And of course you could change general, but you're not going to mess with that right now, like the core if you want to fast forward or the save and load state. What's important is the Game Gear base. So the controls are already set for default, which is up, down, left, right, enter, and A and S. But if you want to change it, or if you want a different controller to take up those buttons, then you can, like, double click right here for assignment 2, put like Z for up or something. And if you don't want that, you can double click it again and press escape. Now I'm actually fine with these player 1 controls, so what we're going to do is go to player 2. So go there and let's set them up right now. And now we got our controls for player 2. So what we have to do here is go back, and you want to go to instant play, which is right here. Change the emulator on the top, so instead of Nintendo, we're going to pick Game Gear, and it should automatically convert both games that I just added in, which is Outrun and Power Rangers. And what you want to do next is, if you click on Power Rangers, or if you click on Outrun, you see that, like, this link is, like, kind of going back and forth. What you want to do is right click link, and you'll see off and on. You want to put it to on. and that will activate the other Game Gear. And if I click on Power Rangers the movie, there we go. Now you might notice that black line. Sometimes this happens with this emulator, like a line will appear somewhere on the screen. You can try to get rid of it by just like quitting the emulator and going back in. But for now, I'm not too concerned about it. It is a very old emulator, like I said, it's not perfect. Heck, I don't think it was ever finished, so you know, take what you get. So yeah, take what you can get. Now, press start on both, go to link. For some games, you have to just wait, like don't press anything on both players for the 2 players to activate. Like I had to do that with Primal Rage, where like when Primal Rage starts, you pretty much just wait for the game to start. Like you don't press anything and it just automatically sends you to the 2-player match. For this case, you just gotta go to link game. And there we go. So I guess I'll just test it out for a bit. So 2nd player controls. And there we go. Now I'm playing Power Rangers with 2 players. And yeah, it works pretty well. There are some times where it can like desync, where both screens aren't showing the exact same thing. But as long as you're not like fast forwarding or something of the sort, then it should always be the same. And if not, you can always look at one screen. But my point is, like, as long as everything is fine, like you're not fast forwarding, like using fast forward or doing anything crazy, then like it should be stable. At least from my experience. So let's test out one more game. We're going to close this one. And we're going to open Outrun. Now, save states and fast forwarding is kind of possible with 2 players, but again, I don't recommend it since this is an old emulator and like it could lead to like some issues with desyncing maybe, or maybe the game itself. So I just play it at default. So let's open Outrun. Of course, this works as well. Yep, and versus human is lit up. And there we go. I'm playing 2-player Outrun. Can you believe it? I can't. But yeah, that's how you oh yeah, that's right. For some games you can actually pause. So yeah, that's how you play 2-player games on the Game Gear. Now again, remember this is only on one monitor. This isn't specifically for like net play, unless you have like some kind of different app that lets your friend connect to your computer or whatnot. But if you just have someone who's already over and you want them to like play with you on the same screen, then this is how you do it. In any case, I hope this was helpful, and yeah, I'll see you later.